What up, guys? G4TV School, and of course, I have a new deck profile to show you guys. It's an updated Dimensional Robo deck. Now, I'll be quite honest, with the new release for Cosmic War, this deck got a whole lot more consistent and a whole lot better, actually. Now, a lot of people think, like, with this set, oh, it's all about Cosmic Heroes and stuff like that. Well, not necessarily. This deck itself got a substantial boost. And yes, before long, I will show off a deck profile for Cosmic Heroes eventually. I just need, let's see, I need 2 more Grand Gallops, maybe 1 more Grand Sub. Got the 4 PGs, 4 of those, 1 more crit. As you can tell, proxy crit. That's about it. Kenji for the win. Anyway, we'll first start off with the Grade 0. It's a new Dimensional Robo starter. It's not Dimensional Robo, the one that you basically put all into Soul, Superior Ride into Grade 3. This one's basically Dimensional Robo Die Shoot. His ability is, he's a Forerunner, Generation Break 1, put this unit into Soul, choose one of your Vanguards with Dimensional Robo in its card name until the end of turn. The unit gets 4K, and auto when the attack hits, retire Rear Guard. There's a lot of support where if the attack hits, you can retire. There's a lot of combos you can do with this deck, and this deck itself can just punish people really easily because of how many effects that can happen. I'll demonstrate one effect soon. But anyway, yeah, this guy is an excellent starter. I really do like him. I think he's one of the best D-Robo starters. But yeah. Anyway, the next cards we have, as soon as I pick it up, is 3-Dimensional Robo Great Daikaiser. Now, this deck build I did borrow from Cardotaku. Go check him out on YouTube. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel name down in the description below. But anyway, here's Great Daikaiser, True Ultimate Dimensional Robo Great Daikaiser. He's basically the Revival Legion of this deck. His ability is when this unit is in Legion, and you have 3 or more in the Soul, he gains a crit. His other ability is Counterblast 1. When this unit drive checks into a Grade 3, and your mate's crit is 2 or more, you can retire it and nullify a Perfect Guard, Quintet Wall. Well, not Quintet Wall, a Perfect Guard, and 10k shields. So yeah, he's a very flexible pressure card, actually. It's like, if you can hit with one effect, you can hit with the other effect. But in reality, I'm not really too... If I do get his other effect off, that's a plus. If not, the hitting for 23 or 25 plus a crit hurts. So, and the next Grade 3, is True Dayusha. One of my favorite Grade 3s. He's not a bad Grade 3 to start with, but it's just you'd rather have him as your starting Grade 3. But yeah, he gains a crit, constant pressure. It works. Next, I only run 2 of the Break Ride. Reason why is because this card could be very situational. If I have it, yay. If not, oh well, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Excuse me. But he's actually a pretty good card overall. Next, I run 4 Die Dragons because 12k attackers are still a thing. There we go. And next is the newest card that I actually really do like, is the 4 copies of Dijets. His ability is Generation Break 1 once per turn. You can return 1 Grade 3 Dimensional Robo from your drop zone to your deck. Your deck is shuffled. You choose one of your Vanguards, it gains plus 4k. This is actually really good, and also the ability of, if the attack hits, Counterblast 1, draw 1. It basically recycles your Grade 3 count and even help you out with getting a drive check into a Grade 3 as well as everything else. He's one of my favorite Grade 2s to run other than Die Dragon. Next, I run 2 copies of Die Barret just because this deck sometimes, if it faces off against Kagero, it has a lot of trouble putting stuff into the Soul, so I run this just so that way I can get stuff into the Soul pretty easily. Next, I run 4 Perfect Guards because Perfect Guard, you have to run 4 in this deck. You can't run any more. I don't run the Unflip Perfect Guards because this deck is reliant on getting 3D, still reliant on getting the 3D Robos in the Soul, and you don't really counterblast a lot in this deck other than him, the Break Ride, him, and him. And it's all just Counterblast 1. So it's not like Counterblast 3 or 4. Next, I run 3 copies of Die Lion because Unlimit Breakers in this deck is actually pretty good. It helps out with constant pressure early game, so your opponent always constantly getting hit. Next, I run 3 copies of Die Tiger because Die Tigers are still really good, actually. They're 10k attackers, they're still really good. Next, I run 2 copies of Die Braves because the whole Soul Blast 1, if the attack hits, draw 1, pretty good. Soul Blast him. And next, when Laurel doesn't get hit, I'll run 2 Laurels in this deck because Laurels are still very OP in this deck with the strides. I'll talk about that later after that. Next, the trigger lineup. 4 heals, 8 crits, and 4 draws. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty self-standard. Oh, sorry. Next, I'll talk about the combos for this deck. This deck can run a scary amount of combos, and they're all very creepy combos. All right, so let's see. Go. Use starting. You get it there. Let's go there, and there, there. All right. Let's see. Your starting hand would be. Let's see, him, and him. And for the lull of it. All right, so let's say, here we go. I'll go like this. Yeah. And 2 cards right there. Oh, hold on. There you go. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. There you go. All right, so one of the combos I really, really love with this deck is this combo right here. Now, let's say this is your hand. Hold on. You got draw trigger. You might as well plus from that draw trigger. Let's put in Die Brave for the hell of it. Decent booster. All right. Now, let's say this is your hand, basically, pure and simple. You know, you got your cards right here. Now, it's your turn. Your opponent's at grade 3. You ride True Die Kaiser just because you don't want to ride this guy. You stride. You have 2 face-up counterblasts. You have a lot of options, actually. A ton of options, really. For me, I'd rather just full up the field. So I'd rather ride into him, or stride into him. Skill. Get my Die Kaiser and him. Now, really, his effect doesn't matter. I mean, I could still use his ability. I don't have to, I don't have to pay a Counterblast 1 because it's not part of the ability. I could just put 1 into the soul, and he gains the ability of gaining 4k. That's all that matters to me. Now I put him into the soul. If the attack, he gains 4k, and its attack hits, I retire 1. So it's really good because Generation Break 1. I'll set that and flip 1. There we go. And let's see. We'll put you right there, you right there, and you right there. Actually, we'll go right there just because. Now your opponent's getting constant pressure with a crit as well as Laurel. Laurel's basically really OP because it gives you 6 drive checks. There's not really a lot, especially with this ability of resting 2 of your rear guards. So let's say he lets your attack hits, everything, and then everything you get to heal. Because you're at 2 damage and all that good stuff. You heal trigger, and then abilities for the rest. You choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it, and then you attack again. See that? You just instantly plus right off the bat, and you have Dijet to recycle your grade 3s, as well as Legion possibilities. This deck is very, very flexible, and I really like this deck. The only bad matchups I see this deck having is decks that just basically rush, because this deck has a hard time recovering against that type of deck. Kagura's not really bad matchup, because for Kagura's, Link Jokers, decks like that, you tend to grind out the game until you know they're at 3 damage, and you can easily finish them off with a good combo. Oh, and I forgot to mention the G units. I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, the G units I tend to run is 2 Dark Superman Omegas. This guy is very underwhelming. He's a very good unit because he lowers the front row by the attack of the card you put into the soul. So basically you put like an 11k rear guard into the soul, everything loses 11k, and then they go to the negative numbers. He's also very cheap cost to me. He's also a stride unit, so it works well with Commander Laurel, and your opponent's taking a lot of hits to the face. Let's be honest with that. Next I run 4 copies of X-Rogue. Oh, sorry. Wrong card. 4 copies of X-Rogue because I like to get a 3rd copy of him just because I think he's really good for this deck. But yeah, 4 copies of X-Rogue. X-Rogue is probably one of my favorite promos because he's a +2 right off the bat. His ability is if his attack power is 37 or greater, your opponent chooses one rear guard to retire it, and you get to draw a card. It's an instant +2. He's too good of a +2, in my humble opinion. But yeah. Next I run 2 copies of 99th Generation Dimensional Robo Commander Great Dire. Yep, the one that died in the Great Battle. I want to run 3 copies of him because, you know, you're going to use one for the ability, if you want to pay for the cost to use his ability, and then use the other one for the crit. But overall, they're pretty good. I mean, all these G units, they are really helpful and flexible depending on the situation. This one just to end the game if you really want to. This one to basically start off really good to fill up your field as well as putting pressure on your opponent. And this one just because you want a +2 on your opponent. There's a lot of pressure abilities from the stride units in this set, and I really do like that. I mean, it opens up a lot of flexibility with the deck for D-Robos or D-Police in general. Now, the next deck profile I have, obviously, is Cosmic Heroes. And honestly, it's not done yet. I still need to get 2 more of this guy, of Great Cosmic Hero, Grand Guard, or Grand Gallop, and 1 more copy of the trigger, the critical trigger, which will be pretty soon. So I'm not too far off. As for the stride units, I'm probably going to need 1 more copy of X-Tiger, and that'll be it. Because I'm planning on running 3 copies of X-Tiger, 2 copies of Falcon, and that's about it. And 3 copies of X-Rogue, because X-Rogue is a beautiful beast. Now, as for if I want to combo it with the other decks, that's the whole other topic that I don't even know if I want to or not. It's debatable. I mean, this deck could easily combo with Metal Borgs really easily. So, anyway, that's my deck profile for D-Robos. I hope you enjoyed. Please rate, comment, or no, not please rate, comment, subscribe. Just enjoy the video, because I enjoy posting videos like this with the Vanguard decks I have right now. I mean, I know I used to start with Yu-Gi-Oh, but now I shifted over to Vanguard. I feel like a lot of people just give me the stick or give me the snake eyes and all that. But yeah. Anyway, that's a lot. That's all. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.